Hey, what's up guys? It's Lukas, Kasper here again. I just rolled into my local graffiti store and I noticed they had like a brand new type of spray paint there. So I get really stoked on this type of stuff because I'm buying paint almost every single week. And a huge thing for me is being able to buy spray paint that has like low pressure to it. As you can see just here, it says slow down the bottom. These are low pressure, brand's called NBQ. They have a few different types of cans too. Low, they have like a faster pressure, and then they have even faster than that. So that's like more of a bombing paint, graffiti, quick lettering and all that. Another thing that got me pretty stoked is this thing just here. This is a rarity. You don't see this too often. MTN had a product like this, water-based spray paint. You can see there H2O. This is big for like lower toxicity, painting inside, doing workshops, paint with kids or whatever, in spots that you don't want to just stink out the place, which for graffiti and all that, this stuff will be irrelevant. But a lot of people that want to use spray cans these days, this can be really handy. It's really awesome when there's new brands and new things to choose from with spray paint. There's a lot of reliable ones out there, Loop, Flame, Montana Black, Montana Gold, Montana 94s. And mentioning the 94s, when I went in there and I asked about these, I saw them at the back and I was like, what's going on with that? And the dude basically said they're similar to Montana 94. 94 is a very reliable brand. It's low pressure. A lot of the painters that paint spray paint realism and they want soft tones, they'll use 94s. But the only thing is with that is they are the most expensive paint that I buy. So each can will cost me $11.50 when these things just here cost me $7.50, a fraction of the price. So what we're gonna do first, I got this little board just here. I'm gonna take you up a little closer and we're just gonna see the output of what these cans look like. I'll start with their stock cap. And this is a good thing about these NBQs is they come stock with a universal cap or banana skinny, whatever you want to call them. For a lot of people, these are their favorites. They're really great. But once I've done painting, this little sort of practice run here, show you the output close up. I'm going to take you around the other side of my wall here and I'm just going to paint a quick piece over on that area. But the one thing I will note is I only bought black and white. I'm going to fill it with like loop. We'll be using the white and the black to like outline and add highlights and all that. So yeah, we might as well get into it. Just going to have a little run on this little practice board here. Let's feel it out. Yeah, it's not bad. It's got good control. Like recently, I actually did a little review on Cobra's low pressure paint and it was nowhere near as good of a valve and system than this. That's pretty nice. But let's see the coverage. Let's see what it's like, eh? Yeah, not bad either. It finishes as a matte paint, which I like as well. It's the same thing as the 94s, is they finish matte. I quite like that, but let's try the black. This is gonna be very interesting. Look, it's got good control. All right, well, we've tried the universals. These are the stock caps. I'm gonna try my favorite caps, which are cream skinnies and a fat cap as well. So firstly, we'll jump straight onto the fat cap and see what type of output this has. So this is more important for a lot of the graffiti stuff and big fills. One thing I really like about this can compared to a lot of low pressures and different paints is it has a lot of variability in the finger. Sometimes cans will just spray as soon as you touch them, but this is a fat cap, it's a pink dot. It sprays that big, like this dot. But if I hold down lightly, I'm still able to get some level of variability. So that's huge. I'm just going to chuck on my favorite caps because this is going to be important to know for me. Let's have a look. It's actually pretty impressive. Great with the cream skinnies, good with fat caps, good with universals. I mean, yeah, it's all around, it's been quality so far. But a big test I'm gonna do now, after I spray this a bit white, so I'm gonna grab out the water-based spray paint to feel it out. Yeah, I mean, variability is great. Once again, this is really nice. Really nice. I'm like actually super impressed. The only thing I will note with the black, I don't know if it's coming up in the camera here, but that's not black, that's actually gray. I'll show you exactly what I mean in a sec. Like, I'll get the other regular paint. It looks like two different colors. See that? It's a gray. So I don't know how the colors are in the water-based. It may be the same, like feels a little bit, you know, watered down. But in saying that, dries nice and quick. And we've got the basics, so let's just head over and paint that proper piece. For anybody who's a complete novice, might as well give you a few tips here to begin with. I got two blues here. If I'm gonna be filling in and fading, first thing that I wanna do is I wanna go in the outside of my areas and then I wanna fill them in. For example, I wanna create a fade from top to bottom here. So I'm gonna basically have this fade cut off about here. What I'm gonna do first is turn this into a section and then fill it in. Don't just start filling like this. You'll have patches everywhere and it'll just look horrible. Turn it into an area first, just like this. Because if we do this first, you're not gonna have as much overspray. You're gonna have way cleaner of a piece in the end. Once we have created an area on the outside, like I mentioned, it's just gonna be like mowing a lawn, just one line at a time. This is for the basics, right? So if I want it to be clean like this, like look how much better that is than this. So much better, and you'll save your paint. Once you get more confident, you can just hold on to that nib and just sort of fill like that. But to begin with, just do one line at a time, just like that. I'll teach you one more thing and then I will basically just fill the rest of this in. If I want to fade from one color to another, I'm just going to angle in the direction that I want it to fade. If I want this to start blue, push down, I need to angle that way. But the first thing I'll do is I'll get a line. Once I do this, that's when I can do the angle, right like this. And that's one of the biggest benefits of spray paint, is that instant fade. So you probably want to blend it a bit more, and you can do that just by sort of moving back and forth and blending it in. I'll do that in a little bit, but that's how you fade. That's a little bit of can control, and that'll take you all the way into filling in a character. And then next up, we'll chuck some lines around it. Let's just jump into adding some fades. To me, it really does feel like a nice, happy medium between like a low pressure and like that soft, feathery feel of like a 94. I'm gonna outline this thing and then we're gonna put a lot of details in. So let's see how much control this thing has over the long run. Yeah, but look at that, it's smooth. Doesn't want to drip either, like it's not a wet paint. The colors will be really interesting to see, but if the thickness of this paint is anything to go by, I think you should be right for coverage, how they look. This is his little tail back here. So it shoots up like behind him and it comes out up the top like that. The way we're going to make it look like that is by adding fades in with the black as well. So this is where we can see how we can tone with this black spray. Let's have a look at the feel. And this leg's behind the other leg, so obviously you want to make it look like that. Same thing with this arm, you know, this arm's over the top of its body. So let's just chuck a bit of a shadow there. This dude looks sort of goofy, so let's chuck a little goofy sort of dangly tooth on him. Just a little single tooth popping through. But what I'll do now, rather than boring you guys, is I'll just chuck you on a time lapse and add all those details in. So that's about it. Look, honest review of this, and just so you know, I'm not being paid by anything or anything like that, just an honest review. NBQ, quality paint. The low pressures are great. I don't know about the highs. I'm sure they're great as well, just judging by these. The valve's really nice. It's like soft to the touch, has a lot of variability, and the coverage was good too. So I got no complaints, but all in all, just a really quality spray paint. Hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got a lot out of it. If you did, I teach a whole bunch of different stuff on spray painting, techniques, painting murals, all that stuff. So if you check out my channel, you can see all those videos. And yeah, cheers for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.